Can't leave before the end of my notice period? No problem. Last month my manager drops a bombshell. The company has decided to scrap the big project that my team been working on for the past 2 years. We must wrap up everything, and starting from June, we will all be moved to different teams. Now I'm a data analyst and the company doesn't have any open projects that require a data analyst, so they looked at my profile, saw I had some basic knowledge of programming, and decided to move me to the dev team. Both me and the dev team think it's an insane idea because I will need lots of training before I become useful, and I don't even want to be a full-time dev. But upper management hasn't bothered to ask for our opinion before making all the arrangements. I immediately start looking for a new job, and as luck would have it, there is an extremely high request for data analysts in my area. Within a few weeks I have an offer in hand and I give my notice. My contract, I'm in the EU, is very strict regarding notice periods. A resigning employee must give 2 months' notice. This is entirely for the benefit of the company that will need to find a replacement. The same applies when a company fires an employee, they must give the employee 2 months' notice. However, it's possible to shorten the notice period by mutual agreement. So when I sit down with my manager and HR, I tell them I'd like to give only 2 weeks' notice and leave at the end of May. I tell them that I've already started wrapping up my activities before my move to the dev team, and I don't have any ongoing projects that I need to transfer to my colleagues, so 2 weeks would be more than enough to finish documenting everything. They say absolutely no, I have to stay here for the entire 2 months period, which is fine by me. My new job doesn't start until August and I don't mind being paid in the meantime. The only reason I suggested shortening the notice period was because I thought I was doing the company a favor. I thought I'd be stealing their paycheck if I stayed for 2 months even though I don't have anything left to do, but since they pretty much told me I was being unprofessional or that I was trying to cut and run, okay, I'll take their money in exchange for sitting around doing nothing for a few more weeks. You may think, but Rentokil, they're going to find some boring task for you. Well, they can certainly try. But the projects they're working on are so different from what I do that I'm pretty much useless to them. For example, someone will ask, can you do XYZ, and I will honestly answer, I've no idea what a XYZ even is. But I will be happy to help if you teach me. At that point they'll say it would take too long and it's not worth it to train me since I'm leaving soon. So my working days now go like this: I show up at 9 a.m. sharp and go to my office, where I'm the only person since the others were moved to different teams. I have a leisurely second breakfast, check my email, then I send a message to our Teams group letting them know that I'm free and to ask me if they need help with anything. Then I remote into my home PC and play until lunchtime. I have lunch coffee, I chat with my co-workers. They're quite nice, it's too bad that upper management is crazy, I'm going to miss them. In the afternoon I usually check Reddit, I chat with my friends if they're online, play a bit more, and I'm out of the door at 5 p.m. By the way, they would like for me to vacate the office so they can use it as a meeting room, but they can't until I leave. There are no empty desks anywhere, the dev team already hired someone else and has no space, so, tough luck, TLDR. Company says I can't leave before my 2 months notice is up. Even though I have no work to do, I get paid for 2 months of doing nothing. TLDR, second breakfast is an important part of the day. Something somewhat similar happened to me. I had to give 4 weeks notice to move to a different state and help take care of my terminal grandparents. I plan to use the first 2 weeks to wrap up and transfer all of my projects, and the last 2 to use my 2 weeks of leave I had saved up to house hunt and prepare to move. They said I couldn't use the leave terminally even though the company policy doesn't say so. It does say that my leave will not be paid out, meaning it won't be transferred to money and added to my paycheck. And they wouldn't let me take leave now, so I was faces with either staying on 2 weeks to transfer projects and screwing myself over being ready to leave, or screw them and just pick up my stuff and go that day. It was very cathartic to leave that very moment, shortly after everyone else on my team left as well, but that's a different story for a different day. And now comes the funny part of it. Most countries in Europe, state employers must give something to do according to their qualifications and contract. This is to protect workers so they do not end up in a position where the company wants them gone but refuses to fire them and pay for it. If you live in one of those, you could use that as leverage to negotiate working from home. That frees up the meeting room too. They would like for me to vacate the office so they can use it as a meeting room, but they can't until I leave. This is where you subtly plant the seed that you'd grudgingly work from home to free up the space. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. It's free. Check out some other videos I've made.